These are my baseball card collection that I made from, oh, I'd say about 1912 to 1917. We In 1912, I came back from the Philippine Islands. My father was in the regular army, and we lived in San Francisco outside the Presidio at the base of what they call Pacific Heights, and all the young people around there were interested in baseball. We didn't know a thing about football in those days. There didn't seem to be much of any. But baseball was paramount. We all played baseball. We all knew about the Coast League, and we all knew about the big leagues. There was the American and National big leagues. Some of the cards came out under Z-Nut. That was a confection popcorn, I think, with some kind of molasses or something mixed in it. You get it at the baseball park, and in it would be a card. Then there were other companies that had cards. Now, these that I have right in front of me are the Z-Nut cards. It says Collins on the back. It also says Z-Nut and Candy Makers. And the idea was, as it usually is, in something similar, to collect all the cards and the raries, as they call them, the ones that are unusual. Why, they have more value than those where you can readily get 2, 3, or 4. Now, see right here, there are 2 cards there, and there possibly are here. There are 2 cards here. This is Siglin, and there are 2 cards here for Lear. That's Portland in the Coast League in those days. I came pretty close, I think, to getting almost all. We'd trade them, and getting almost all that were available at that time. Here's Ray Chapman. He was a shortstop for the Cleveland Americans, and he was killed by a hit ball that struck him in the head.
What year?
Oh, that would be sometime prior to 1917. I don't remember the exact year, right around that time. Yeah, this is Ty Cobb. He was center fielder for the Detroit Americans, called the Georgia Peach, and he was a great base stealer. Here's Eddie Saicotti, who was the pitcher for the Chicago White Sox, who couldn't be beaten. Eddie Collins, the only man that wasn't mixed up in the Black Sox deal. He was the second baseman for the Chicago White Sox. Here's Sean O'Collins, who was their first baseman. And there's another one here, Chick Gandil, somewhere, but I don't have it right now.
Was it the 1908 White Sox that were the
No,
Black Sox?
No, not 1908. I would have been 1 year old then.
When
about 1917 or 18.
No, I'm talking about the ones that threw the World Series.
1917 or 18, somewhere in there. About 18, I think. Let's see. I was trying to... here's somewhere in here is Tinkers to Evers. Here's Johnny Evers. Tinkers to Evers to Chance. I believe that Johnny Evers was from St. Mary's College in California. Here's Louis Gisto, who was the first baseman for the Cleveland Americans. He was from St. Mary's College in California, later a coach. I learned to know him personally when I was up there. He was back coaching there. I was trying to see if I could find the Tinkers to Evers to Chance. Here's Roger Hornsby, first base for St. Louis Cardinals. Here's Roger Hornsby. He was first base for the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's Harry Hooper, who was the right field for the Boston Red Sox. Harry Hooper, I believe, was from St. Mary's College, California. Here's Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Oh, really?
Of the Chicago White Sox, right there.
He's got his shoes on.
Yeah, but that was his nickname. Buck Herzog from the New York...
Get Shoeless Joe Jackson in here a little bit. How about that? A little piece of history.
Yeah.
He was with the World Series White Sox team.
Yes, they couldn't be beaten. They could beat almost anybody at will at that time. Apparently, that's why they rigged the deal and threw the game, because the odds were so great when they bet on the opposition to whom they threw the game. This is Walter Johnson, the famous pitcher. He was pitcher for the Washington Americans at that time. He's well known. He was in a few World Series. Here's Bill Killefer with the catcher for the Philadelphia Nationals. He was from the San Francisco area, I think. I was trying to see who these are. Here's Babe Ruth, who was then a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, right there. Here's Reb Russell, the pitcher for the Chicago White Sox, right next to him. And
wow, the Babe.
There are, let's see, that's the Babe there. That's a pitcher. That's before he was hitting it. Here's Chief Myers, who was a catcher for the Brooklyn Nationals and was later brought out by the San Diego Gas and Electric Company and played ball here in San Diego. I was trying to see if I could find others. Most all these fellows were well known at the time I got these pictures. Here's Tris Speaker, center field for the Cleveland Americans, well known by almost anybody. Here's George Sisler, first base for the St. Louis Browns, who was equally well known. For years and years he was remembered.
How much did
Here's Oscar Witt, another person,
German.
and Hans Wagner, H-A-N-S Wagner. Oscar Witt was third base for the Detroit Americans, and Hans Wagner was shortstop for the Pittsburgh Nationals. Now these came with a confection, a candy. It was about 2 or 3 and 2.5 inches wide, and maybe 3 inches long, and about 1/8 of an inch thick. And it was wrapped up in a sufficient wrapper to take care of it. And the kids would buy those.
For how much?
Oh, about a nickel in those days. And they were sold at the ballpark, and you could buy them at drugstores or places like that.
And you saved these. You've saved these all these years.
Yes. Now let's see. Here's Jeff Tesreau, a pitcher for the New York Giants. He was well known at that time. Then you get into these small ones, and they were for a different confection. I don't remember just what they were. These little colored ones.
It says on the back. If you look on the back of those.
Mm-hmm.
Turn the whole page over though.
Yeah. But in any event, they were the Coast League as against the Big League. See, the Big League was the American and the National League, and then they had the American Association in Kansas. Now, at the time of the Spanish-American War, why your grandfather, my father, was playing baseball with the Kansas Association, was Kansas, and he resigned, quit, and joined the army.
Illustrations, aren't they?
Oh, for Christ's sake!
Aren't these illustrations, or are they photos?
These are, I don't know what they are. They're pictures. You can see what they are.
They're photos that were painted in.
Yeah, they're
It was
little.
the first attempt.
That color.
These are the Coast League, and in the Coast League at that time, there was Portland, Salt Lake City, and Oakland, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Vernon, which is near Los Angeles.
Which one was your favorite?
And Sacramento. What?
Well, which was your favorite?
Oh, the San Francisco Seals, of course.
Uh-huh.